I once heard Jim Keltner talking about what it was like working for Steely Dan, and he said that he went to a session. They spent all day working on a song, and everybody said it was great. They loved it, and he went home and he stopped by the next week to say hello, and there's a whole other bunch of guys playing the same song.
Ouch. That yeah.
What do you? I mean,
That would be tough. I know Dad talked about. I don't know which piano player it was, but somebody playing. Or we'll have to look this up. But someone was playing one note over and over and over again, and he started crying. And he's like, "I went to Juilliard." Just like one note over and over and over, and they broke. He got broken down.
I
with
went to
with that. So
Juilliard.
yeah.
I went to Juilliard.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So I don't know who that was, and we're laughing at someone's obvious, pain. You can
Traumatic
laugh
event.
about it later, but
I
yeah,
hope he's laughing at it. You
yeah.
think
I
he's
hope.
laughing about it.
I hope decades later you can laugh about things like that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I don't know who that was, but I remember the time that we had Victor Feldman playing a cowbell, and he's playing this, this really stylish and esoteric version of cowbell. When I knew that what they wanted was just someone hammering on a cowbell, like a hammer on an anvil. And I went in the studio and I says, they really want you to just bang on this thing on every beat. And I apologized for it. And he says, "Yeah, it's really a drag." And he knew exactly what I meant, and he got the part.
wow. So you were the enacting producer in that moment. Oh my gosh, it seems like a team effort for sure. Give everybody working as hard as they can to get what worked.
Okay. I love these studio anecdotes. I could listen to my dad talk about them all day,
And you.
and you.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you about the gong. Okay. This is a great story.
Let him tell it.
Yeah, tell it. Tell us about the gong.
Well, we were recording this Duke Ellington song called the East St. Louis Toodle-Oo,
Uh huh.
and they wanted a gong at the end, just one bang of the gong at the very end of the song. And we rented a gong, and it was about I don't know 2 feet in diameter, and we couldn't get it to sound like the gong that they envisioned. Uh, we had a couple of different mallets, and none of them sounded right. And so your father said, "Let me bang it with my head." And we went in, and they liked the sound of it. He said, "That sounds perfect." But the it was on a stand, and the stand was had a creaking noise when it swayed back and forth. So I went in and I held it by a rope, and your father hit his head against it, and that's the way we recorded it.
Okay, I'm trying to imagine the scene of you
And he couldn't wear a
holding the
helmet.
gong, and did he run at it, or was he on his like on all fours, and just how did
And
it
he was
work?
on all fours, and most of the striking force came from his neck.
Okay,
Okay.
the physics explanation is
And in
on
pure
point.
Steely Dan fashion, I'm almost afraid to ask how many takes that was. Do you?
Uh, Not many.
Okay.
Wow, were you
Not
guys
many.
laughing? Were you laughing? Was this a funny moment? I hope, and when it was going on.
Uh, well, it was funny afterwards, but when you're trying to do it, you really have to concentrate.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So something about the thud of the human body on the metal. Have to remember that. You're getting a gong.
I actually bought a gong. I got a gong. I'm a sound therapist now. I've studied sound therapy and using sound, the vibrations for healing, which is kind of interesting. Taking a deep dive into based on my upbringing with Steely Dan, sonic perfection, actually using the sounds for healing. So I got a gong. I got a gong.
How
I don't.
big?
It's 34 inches. How big was the gong you guys used? It's so 34 inches. I think. How do they? Is that the? I'm looking at you like you know. I think it's
I think you said it was a couple feet, or
34 inches.
well, that's almost
Yeah,
like 3
that
feet.
sounds about right.
Yeah,
Is that about the size gong that?
yeah. I wonder where that went. Um, yeah. Which studio was that?
Cherokee.
Okay.
Cherokee.
Yeah. Do they still have it? I wonder. Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Do you-
Cherokee still exists, but it's
Yeah.
not in that location anymore.